Hello, everyone, and welcome to downtown Lansing, Michigan, Week 9 of the MHSAA Game of the Week on OEM TV, presented by the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty, is about to get underway. The Everett Vikings, fresh off a huge win against the Holt Rams last week, welcoming in the best team in the area, the DeWitt Panthers, 8-0, averaging 43 points a game, 50 points each of their last 4 games. This is a dynamic team that can hurt you in a lot of ways. Vikings have a tall task ahead of them, and that win last week against Holt means that they've gotten to 5 wins. They're currently ranked number 20 in Division II, currently on the inside of the playoff bubble. An upset tonight would absolutely guarantee that they're going to the playoffs. The DeWitt Panthers currently ranked number 1 in Division III, trying to stake their claim to the number 1 overall seed in the D3 playoffs. Try to have home field advantage for as much of that tournament as they can. Happy to have you with us. I'm Colton Wesley on a brisk October evening. First time I've been able to say that this season. Temperature is 48 degrees as we get ready for kickoff. Should drop to about 40 by the time we're done. Vikings won the toss and elected to defer, so they will kick off to get this one underway. They're wearing the light Carolina blues with the white helmets. The DeWitt Panthers over on the far sideline in the blue helmets, white shirts, and blue pants. The sun's setting behind us here in the press box, and the shadows will cover the far bleachers soon enough as we get Week 9 underway. Obviously a big week in high school football. The last playoff tickets will be punched tonight. The Everett Vikings hoping to pull off an upset that would guarantee them a spot in the field of 32 in the Division II playoffs. It seems likely that they are in. Very unlikely that a loss tonight would push them out. But there's no way to know for sure unless you win tonight. And in about 48 hours, everyone's fate will be sealed. This is your last chance to get those points and get into the top 32 and get into your playoff field in your respective division. We will have updates on any games that take place during ours tonight. 6 p.m. kickoff, or an hour earlier than most of the rest of the slate. Redford Thurston's at Williamston and Sexton's at Eastern. Both of those are 6 p.m. kicks, so we'll keep an eye on those as well. Everett will kick off left to right across your screen. So we get Week 9, the final week of the MHSAA regular season, underway. Juan Carlos Lopez Salgado, the senior, puts the ball on the tee. Or at least he will once it's given to him. Back deep to return for the Panthers, Channing Ridley and Landon Kernst. They've got Mitchell Araka back there, too. 3 men back deep for the Panthers to return the opening kickoff. Now Lopez Salgado has the ball on the tee. We're ready to get this one underway. The run up and the kick. Squib kick right up the middle. Kicked around by the up back. He picks it up at the 24-yard line, working to his left. He'll be brought down at the 30-yard line. Return by Jaden Bender, star wide receiver for the Panthers, and they will begin at their own 30-yard line. We do have a flag down. It's going to be a chop block on Everett. You usually don't see that on the kicking team. But that'll move the Panthers' offense 15 yards, and they'll get to start at the 45-yard line. So here comes that Panthers offense led by Trav Moore. These two teams led by very similar running quarterback types. They're responsible for most of the yards on their offense. Handoff up the middle of the first play from scrimmage up to the 49-yard line goes Tyler Bayshore. Panthers not wasting much time, getting up to the line quickly. Two receivers set to the right. Moore in the shotgun, fakes the give, keeps it himself, working right. He's got a lot of room over the 45-yard line, up to the 37-yard line on the Everett side of the field. Picks up 14 on the run. If you're the Vikings defense, you have to find a way to keep this Panthers offense in front of you. Panthers going with a hurry up. Trying to get set quickly. They got Jacob Scorfar in as the up back in front of the running back in the shotgun, and now they're being held up so the referee can place the ball. 30 seconds in. Direct snap to Moore, running right off power. He's got room over the 25-yard line, slung down at the 23-yard line. Pick up a 14 again for Moore. Back-to-back 14-yard runs. Panthers offense in a hurry. We don't usually see as much of this out of them. They'll go to this from time to time, but trying to get up to the line of scrimmage as quickly as possible. Now they got all kinds of men in the backfield. Direct snap. Taken up over the 20, inside the 15 to the 5. Touchdown, DeWitt. Tyler Bayshore takes the direct snap, rumbles into the end zone, and the Panthers, in 46 seconds, go 55 yards for a touchdown. Panthers offense wasting zero time. Everett made the decision to kick it away to them to start the game. They wanted to prove something against the area's best offense, but nothing doing. Vincent Rose out to attempt the extra point. Snap good, spot down, and the lefty splits the uprights. Well, Panthers did what they came to do on drive number 1, 55 yards in 46 seconds. They lead the Vikings 7-0 here in Week 9. Today's game is presented by the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. They spend a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is hot, complicated, and complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who is patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. That real estate agent is Mid-Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Dowding Group, or call them at 517-853-6390. That's 517-853-6390. So we'll see how the Vikings offense responds. They got Javari Funchess back in the lineup a week ago, and he was instrumental in that 28-21 win over the Holt Rams. A crucial win for the Vikings' playoff hopes. A similarly styled offense the Vikings have to the Panthers. They want to run the football. They're going to use their quarterback, try to do some misdirection. Rose has the ball on the tee. Ready to send this one away, and he does. High kick fielded at the 6-yard line by Daniel Height. Height trying to bounce it outside over the 25-yard line, cuts it back to the 30, and he'll be brought down there. That is where the Vikings will begin. So Javari Funchess going out there with Gavin Hellowidge, and we saw this last week. They started with Hellowidge at quarterback, and then moved to Funchess as the game went on, taking the quarterback snaps. Isaiah Fundenberg's the tight end in the formation. Kavion Smith, Donovan Ziegler, the receivers. Hellowidge in the shotgun. 11:07 to go first quarter, 7-0. DeWitt in front after a quick score. Four down for the Panthers. Handoff. The line collapses in front of Funchess, and he's going to lose a yard. Panthers won the battle up front. Loss of 2 on the play. Everyone talks about this extremely powerful Panthers offense and that rushing attack led by Trav Moore, but the defense just as impressive. They've only given up 10 points a game this season, only given up double-digit points on 2 occasions. That shootout win against Mason was one of them. The other one, they had to go to Ohio for it. 10:20 to go first quarter, 7-0. Helowich in the shotgun on 2nd and 12, takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Helowich throws left side, and that's incomplete. Coaches on the sideline want pass interference. They're not going to get it. Intended for Kavion Smith. I think Smith kind of flattened out that route a little bit. Was trying to stick his foot in the ground and run a slant across the middle. Got bumped off his route a bit. And flattened it out underneath. 4-receiver set, trip set to the left for the Vikings on offense. Helowich motions Funchess out. Helowich under heavy pressure, throws a little middle screen. It's caught at the original line of scrimmage, but going backwards is Fundenbergs. It's going to be a gain of 0 on the reception, and Vikings lose 2 yards on the possession, and they're going to bring out the punt unit. At least one would imagine they're going to bring it. There they go. They're going to send out the special teams. Not the start you wanted if you were the Vikings, that's for sure. Gave up a quick score on offense and on defense and got nothing going on that offensive possession. Back to punt is Kavion Smith. 2 men back deep to return for the Panthers, Bender and Kurtz. Smith picks up the low snap. The punt off the side of his foot. There was pressure there, and it goes flying into the bench, where it is caught by Jaden Lack, the offensive lineman, but the pressure got in, and Kavion Smith mishit that football. It only goes 7 yards. So great field position for the Panthers on the Viking 35-yard line. $9:17 to go first quarter. Panthers already up 7. Trying to add to the lead here. Shotgun snap. Trav Moore under pressure gets away. He's going to get up over the 30, down the sideline, inside the 20, and bumped out of bounds by Smith at the 19-yard line. Designed quarterback power. A staple of this offense. They're going to knock him out of bounds inside the 15-yard line at the 14. Gain of 21 for Moore. 3 carries, 41 yards for Trav Moore. Vikings have got to find a way to stay in front of this rushing attack. Direct snap up the middle inside the 10, trying to break it outside and hauled down at the 5-yard line. Coming to clean up is Gisti Aranakunda. Carry by Bayshore. Picks up 9. $85 yards on 6 plays for the Panthers offense so far. 8:40 to go first quarter. Donovan Hillard, the running back next to Moore, takes the snap, dives up the middle, pushing for the goal line, and he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Panthers getting a great push. And they're an extra point away from doubling their first quarter advantage. Rose 1 for 1 so far. Snap good, spot down, and that kick is good. $14-0. Panthers in front. Everett looking for answers in all phases right now. 8:29 to go in the first quarter. Tanuki's Trading Post is Lansing's anime store, located at 1910 East Michigan Avenue in Lansing. Tanuki's Trading Post is the best place in Lansing to find Gundam models and build kits, anime figures and merchandise, manga, trading card games, and of course their collection of anime soundtracks on vinyl. Tanuki's is a friendly and inviting place where everyone is welcome, Events and build days are happening all the time. Open from 12 to 9 every day but Wednesday. Tanuki's Trading Post. Come to the anime. Stay for the shenanigans. Rose will put the ball on the tee for the Panthers. Everett already in a 14-0 hole. Based on last week, Vikings did a good job keeping LaDon Hatcher in check for the Holt Rams. Seemed like they might match up a little bit better against this DeWitt rushing attack, but so far, nothing doing. They've lost at the point of attack. That one hits off the hands of the return man at the 2-yard line, and it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Off the hands of Daniel Height, and he's going to be grateful for that. High school football, one of the only places where that is not a live ball. As soon as it goes into the end zone, even if it hits off of a return man, it is a dead ball and goes for a touchback. If this were college or the NFL, that would still be a live ball and would need to be taken out of the end zone to avoid a safety. But in high school football, that is a touchback. So here comes the Viking offense. Helwich in the pistol. He's got Funchess behind him. 3 down linemen for the Panthers. Helwich takes the snap. Toss to Funchess, and that play develops way too slowly in a loss of 8. And you're not going to be able to do that against this DeWitt team. That's just not an option. Try to win the race to the sideline on the short side of the field. You're just not going to win that race. Slow to get up is Max Holtz for the Panthers. He was up for a second, and now he's back down. So he'll be tended to after that loss of 7 yards for Javari Funchess. And that's a play call that you're just asking for your offense to be left way behind the sticks. Holtz being helped off the field, not putting any weight on that left foot. Now he still isn't. Being helped off the field by a couple of trainers. They're going to have a look at him over on the sideline and see if he's okay. Holtz, a captain on this Panthers squad. 8:15 to go first quarter. They're going to put the ball on the 13-yard line, 2nd and 17. Three receivers set. Helwich in the shotgun's got Funchess next to him. 3 down linemen again for the Panthers. Corner creeping in, looking like he's showing blitz. And here he comes. Handoff. Funchess escapes, trying to work his way outside over the 15 down to the 19-yard line. Gain of 6 on the run. And that's the kind of play that the Vikings are going to need a lot more of. They want to keep this thing competitive. They're going to spot it up at the 19-yard line. 3rd down and 11. 7:35 to go first quarter. Helwich in the gun, 3 receivers set. Takes the snap, fakes the give, throws on a slant. It is in and out of the hands at the 30-yard line of Kavion Smith. He got hit as he was trying to bring it in. Miller Wing on the coverage. Or excuse me, that's Jaden Bender, rather, on the coverage. Now 4th and 11, and Everett's offense still on the field on 4th and 11. They're going to go for this. Or are they just going to try to get him to jump? Now they're going to motion out into a punt formation. Low snap, picked up by Smith, gets it away. High kick will be fair caught at the 49-yard line. 32-yard punt by Smith. Smith was met by Bender as the ball arrived, and in the opinion of the officials, Bender got there in time. Or I should say at the appropriate time. He's allowed to make contact once the ball touches the receiver. Everett fans unhappy about the no call. Another heavy set. Up the middle on the direct snap goes Bayshore over midfield down to the 48-yard line. They started them all the way back in the 47 for some reason. The fair catch was made at the 49, but in any case, gain of 5 on that run for Bayshore. Under 7 to go first quarter. Panthers getting up to the line in a hurry. Direct snap, Bayshore hands it off, and then the pitch off the handoff to Trav Moore. They faked that sequence on the previous play, and Moore keeps his legs moving through the pile over the 35 down to the 31-yard line. Gain of 17. We'll spot him up at the 30. Some trickery from the Panthers. They fake the handoff into the pitch package. They fake that sequence on the previous play and then execute it well on the next one. Turning around and handing off. Bayshore untouched over the 25-yard line and wrestled down at the 21, gain of 9. Panthers are getting all kinds of push. And the Vikings are getting absolutely nothing into the backfield. That's allowing the Panthers to run all these complicated patterns. They're going to do it again, this time into a passing play. More right side, incomplete. That's great cover. No, it's not. It's pass interference, and that's going to make the Everett fans upset. Kelvin Ishrime in on the coverage, and he thought he covered it clean. Jaden Bender, the intended receiver, but there's a flag down. And they're picking up the flag. No pass interference. That's probably the right call. 3rd down and 1 coming up for the Panthers. Yeah, on that play, again, setting up the pass with the run on the play action is one thing. Setting up the play action off of the fake pitch, off the fake handoff pitch sequence is something else. They're going to hand it off coming around the near side. 1st down and a lot more. And inside the 10 goes Channing Ridley to the corner. Touchdown. Everett going every which way defensively right now. The Panthers offense doing whatever they want. The Vikings just trying to keep their eyes up, trying to play catch up on every single snap. Extra point upcoming for Rose. Snap good, spot down, kick is up. And he sneaks it inside the left upright. Rose is 3 for 3, and so is the Panthers offense. $143 yards of offense for the Panthers in the first half of the first quarter. They lead 21-0. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. Well, if you're Everett, this is very much a what now moment. You're down by 21 in the first quarter against the team that is pretty definitively the best team in the area. I don't think anyone's really arguing that. DeWitt's been beating teams up and down this division by massive numbers all season. But this is not what you wanted. Being behind is one thing. Being behind 21-0 and losing the yardage battle 143 to -3. You're expecting a little better than that. Rose with the kick. It'll be fielded at the 10. Return up over the 25-yard line, hauled down at the 28-yard line. Height on the return. So the Vikings will start at their own 28-yard line. Spot them up at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 for Everett. Three receivers set for Hellowich in the gun. Takes the snap, handoff, punches, lost the handle for a second, picks it back up, and then he just hits the dirt back at the 26-yard line. He knew that was going nowhere fast and decided to just take the L. Loss of 3 on the run. Loss of 2, rather. Going to spot him up at the 27. He had already almost lost the football. Decided it made more sense to live to fight another down. 2nd down and 12. Three receivers for Hellowich again in the shotgun. He's got Funchess next to him. Four down lineman for the Panthers. Hellowich takes the snap. Steps up in the pocket. Deep ball down the near side. Wants Kavion Smith. A lot of contact and multiple flags coming out. Miller Wing this time got way too much of Kavion Smith. It'll be pass interference. And the Vikings will have a 1st down. Miller Wing talking to the ref. Asking him what he did. The ref's kind of like, what didn't you do? Got in his way, made a lot of contact, didn't play the football. That's going to be a penalty pretty much every time. 15 yards on the defensive pass interference. First penalty on the Panthers. Last week we saw the Holt Rams come into this building. They were called for 13 penalties in that loss. Panthers a little more well-disciplined than that. 4:47 to go, first quarter. Play action. Hellowich on his back foot, throws it up in the air into single coverage, incomplete. Chucked it up there looking for Funenbergs in single coverage against Ian Sosabee. It's incomplete. You don't hate the one-on-one matchup, though. That might be the best thing you can do against this DeWitt team. If they're going to put 7 in the box, try to take away the ground game. If you can get single high on the outside, you got 3 one-on-one matchups, maybe one deep safety taking away something, but you can put yourself in a position where you can maybe win a one-on-one matchup. Might be the most effective way to move the ball today. Out of the pistol, Hellowich. Takes the snap. The pitch to Funchess, trying to get outside. He's going to get back up to the line of scrimmage, gets maybe a yard on the play. Again, that really slow developing outside run. It's going to be hard for you to get that against the speed of this DeWitt front 7. They can get outside. Vikings done a pretty good job sealing the edge on that play as well, but still only get a yard. Just because there's that speed deficit. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Hellowich in the pistol again. 3rd down and 9. 3 receivers set for the Vikings. Hellowich takes the snap. It's a high snap, and then we have a whistle and a flag. And delay of game on the Vikings. They took too long to get the snap off. That'll back them up 5 yards. 3:49 to go first quarter. Nakunda checking into the game, replacing Arum Vadu in the slot on the left side. Two backs next to Helowich, takes a snap, fakes to give to Funches, throws left side. It is picked off, coming the other way, hauled down right about where he caught it. Noah Deneen on the interception, brought down by Kavion Smith, the intended target. And the Panthers will start on the Vikings' 41-yard line. Man in motion is Scorfar. Play action. Moore. Deep ball. Right side. Single coverage. Turn around for the football. And he caught it. Jaden Bender at the 8-yard line in single coverage on Kelvin Ishwame. Gain of 33. Bender's a hard guy to cover in one-on-one, but elite vision on that one. Saw the football, tracked back to it through the defense. Makes the grab. Looked like Ishwame had a shot to knock that one away, but Bender just wins the battle in the air. First and goal for the Panthers. Man in motion. Fakes the give. Moore going to be hauled down in the backfield. Isaiah DeHilbus picks up the tackle for loss. So a loss of a yard will bring up second down and goal. First negative play for the Panthers offense in this game. 3 receivers set. Moore. Jump pass over the middle off the play action, and no one was covering. Scorfar. Touchdown. Panthers digging deep in the playbook here in this first quarter. All kinds of stuff. They lead 27-0. Rose on to try to make it 28. And he does. DeWitt up 4 scores in the first quarter. Everett looking for some kind of answer. We are Open-Ended Media, Michigan's full-service media company and official broadcast provider of the Capital Diamond Classic, Michigan State Women's Hockey, and Red Cedar FC Major League Indoor Soccer. If your team or event needs a broadcast, whether it's a multi-camera setup with graphics or a simple audio play-by-play call, Open-Ended Media is here to help. Reach out at broadcasting@openendedmedia.com. We are still looking for sponsors for Michigan State Women's Hockey and our our high school basketball season. Now, we don't do college basketball yet. High school basketball season just around the corner. We're still looking for sponsors. So if you are interested in sponsoring local high school basketball, and there are some fun programs in the area. We're going to be doing a lot of Waverly games, doing a lot of Sexton games. We'll be at Eastern, Don Johnson Fieldhouse. So the greater Lansing area is full of good programs, and we're going to try to feature a bunch of them on our MHSAA basketball game of the week on OEM TV. And you can be a sponsor of that. Get your ad read just like we read them here on our football broadcasts. Email us broadcasting@openendedmedia.com, or there's a little info box on this page that you're watching this video on. Fill that out and send us some information. We'd love to have you. Short kick. Picked up at the 22-yard line by Ryan Bryant. Returns it up to the 31-yard line, and that is where the Vikings offense will start. Punt, interception. 9 total yards for the Vikings offense. It has been an ugly, ugly first quarter on offense and defense for Everett. They're going to put the ball on the 30-yard line again. Three receivers. Helowich in the pistol. He's got Funches behind him. Takes the snap. Another toss to Funches. This time they're going to throw it. Tavion Smith, and they got him. Smith inside the 30. No one's going to touch him. Touchdown, Vikings. They've been setting that up all quarter. And that's why you're running that pitch. You run a play that is ostensibly a negative play twice in the first quarter to try to get the safety to bite on it. And when he does, Tavion Smith is all by himself for a 70-yard touchdown. They're going to send Juan Carlos Lopez Salgado out to attempt the extra point. Last week, they didn't try a single extra point against Holt. This week, they're going to give Juan Carlos his opportunity. Snap good, spot down, kick is up, and he got it. So the Vikings are on the board. It took a trick play, but they got there. 70 yards to Tavion Smith. 28-7. 2:27 to go in the first quarter. You're watching our MHSAA Game of the Week on OEM TV. Senior night here at Everett High School. Football players were honored pregame. They're going to honor the cheerleaders and the band at halftime. .227 to go in the first. The band in the student section trying to get this crowd back into it. The touchdown certainly helps. And now you hope that a decent kickoff will have the Panthers starting deeper in their own territory. Their worst starting field position, their own 45-yard line. That was on the opening drive after a penalty on the Vikings on their kickoff. Lopez Salgado with the run-up and an onside kick. It hops over midfield. That's a loose ball. The Vikings have it. The surprise onside kick works, and the Vikings have the football. It cleared midfield, hit a defender, bounced back. Because it went 10 yards and it even hit a defender, Vikings able to jump on it, and they've got it at midfield. Referee's talking about it. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be Vikings football. And the call will stay. Everett has it at midfield. The surprise onside kick, and it fooled the Panthers. So the Vikings going deep into their bag of tricks, and they found some stuff that's working for them. Trying to cut this lead to 2 possessions on this trip. 3 receiver set, Helowich in the shotgun. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff. Looking, deep ball, right side. Tavion Smith, single coverage on Bender. It's behind and incomplete. Smith got behind Bender at the last possible second. A lot of hand fighting. This is a fun matchup between these two. Everett fans want a flag. They're not going to get one. Pretty normal amount of hand fighting between those two. Good defense by Bender. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10, ball in midfield. .218 to go first quarter. This first quarter taking a while. 3 receiver set, Helowich in the shotgun. Takes the snap, handoff. Funches bounces it outside, stiff arms a man into the dirt, picks up 3. Brought down at the 47-yard line. And that'll move the clock under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Third and 7. It's definitely 4-down territory for the Vikings. You're down by 21. This is the best field position you've had all day. First time in plus territory that they've snapped the football. 90 seconds left in the quarter. Helowich in the shotgun, 3-receiver set. Takes the snap, fakes the give, quick throw left side, caught. Trying to turn it up as Bryant sheds a tackle down to the 46-yard line. That's a great tackle in the open field. Gain of a yard. I think that's Wing who brought him down. And now we're coming up on 1 minute to go. It's 4th and 6, and they're going to go for it. Helowich and Funchess in the backfield. 3-receiver set. Do the tight end on the near side. Panthers showing blitz. That corner creeping in from the far side. You see him, top of your screen. Trying to get him a jump on the hard count. And now they're going to shove Helowich out into the slot. We got a whistle. And timeout called by the Vikings. This is an important down. It makes sense with 23 seconds to go in the quarter. They're trying to get him to jump and make it 4th and 1, which obviously makes your job a lot easier. Then they motioned Helowich out. Funchess actually shoves Helowich out of the backfield into the slot on the far side. Again, just an attempt to change the eyes of the defense, right? Trying to get them to think that something's coming that isn't, or get them distracted by something. When you get outplayed, the way the Vikings have been in this first quarter, you have to resort to some goofiness sometimes. It's worked a couple of times for them already. A 70-yard touchdown on a halfback pass from Jabari Funchess. And the surprise onside kick to get the football back. Temperatures dropping here as the clouds roll in and the sun has just about set behind us. The referee's going to break these huddles. Fourth down and 6. Funch is going to be the one taking the snap. Helowich on the sideline. Funchess takes the snap, fakes the pitch, throws over the middle. It's caught for a first down at the 35-yard line. Isaiah Fundenbergs gets in behind, picks up 11 on the pitch and catch. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter, probably. They're going to spot this ball and run the clock. Vikings don't have to take a snap, and I don't think they will. We will go to quarter number 2. Vikings look dead in the water. They were down 28-0, but a trick play, touchdown, and an onside kick, and now a fourth down conversion. Vikings still alive here as the first quarter comes to a close. Panthers 28, Vikings 7 as we end quarter number 1. We've always said that sportsmanship is the golden rule in action. Why should it stop when the game is over? Now more than ever, we need to respect each other and treat each other with common decency, not only between the lines, but outside the lines in our daily lives. In sports and in life, nothing beats good sportsmanship. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Well, the mountain is a tough climb for the Everett Vikings. As we get the second quarter underway, you still got to find a way to stop this Panthers offense that has, frankly, torched you the entire first quarter. But the offense on your side is starting to get things together. Might have taken a trick play to open it up, but now that it has opened up a little bit, you got a first down. Maybe you can move this football and do something. Trim the lead to 14. Keep yourself within shouting distance of a team that has really just beaten the daylights out of everybody else in this division. Helowich in the shotgun. He's got Funches next to him. 3 receiver set. Tries the hard count. No one goes. High snap, handoff Funches up the middle, and that's what you want on first down. Shotgun handoff picks up 4. Second down and 6, a lot more manageable. Obviously, everything's 4-down territory here in the plus half of the field if you're this Everett offense. So picking up 4 on first down definitely helps. Also, that hard count, if you can threaten the hard count even, it means that the Panthers might be a little bit slower out of the blocks than they might otherwise be. So it might give your offensive line a little bit more of a chance to win the battle. Handoff, Funches up the middle, cuts it back, trying to fight his way forward, gets up over the 30 to the 29, gain of 2. Looked like there was a cutback lane that maybe he didn't see. It opened up off to his left. He couldn't go anywhere with it. Under 11 to go second quarter. Vikings down by 3 scores. Looking at 3rd and 4. Again, 4-down territory for the Vikings, and they're taking their time on this drive. Give the defense a chance to rest, regroup. Helowich in the gun. He's got Funches next to him. Takes the snap. Handoff, Funches. Up the gut on the delayed handoff. Gets 2 yards. It'll bring it 3rd down and 2. So back-to-back-to-back handoffs to Funches. And now you're in a situation where, again, it was always 4-down territory. Putting yourself in a 4th and 2 doesn't feel too bad if you're Everett. Obviously, you've got to get it. You've got to have it. But 4th and 2 feels a whole lot better than that 4th and 7 that you had to convert earlier in the drive. As the clock continues to march, 9:45 to go second quarter. 3 receivers. Once again, it's Helowich and Funches in the backfield this time. It was Funches as the quarterback the last 4th down conversion. Corner showing blitz on the outside. Helowich sees it. Takes the snap. Handoff. Funches trying to get outside. He's going to be dragged down a yard short. Noah Deneen again. He had the interception earlier, and now he's got the crucial 4th down tackle. Vikings going to come up a yard short. And it's a turnover on downs. So ultimately, the onside kick doesn't help you if you're the Vikings. They're unable to turn it into points. Handoff around the left side goes Ridley. He's going to get a first down. Gets bumped out of bounds at the 36-yard line, a gain of 10. Panthers offense has been off the field for a minute because of the touchdown and then the onside kick. Up under center, Trav Moore sends a man in motion, hands to the deep, back up the middle. Goes Bayshore, and he's going to get over the 40 to the 41-yard line, gain of 5 on the play. One of the things that makes this Panthers offense work so well is that whoever has the football, they always fall forward. Handoff up the middle. Bayshore going to get close to the line to gain. It's about 3.5. We'll bring up 3rd and 1. Spot him at the 45. Offense lining up tight. Vikings trying to get a substitution on late, and they couldn't get it done in time, and it's going to be a free first down for the Panthers. Illegal substitution is the call. And that's the thing, like, if the Panthers don't make a substitution, the Vikings, they're not given an opportunity to make a change. So, the Panthers get up the line and snap it as quickly as they want. I don't think the Panthers made a change between snaps there. The Vikings were trying to get a sub on, and they were not obliged to wait for them. Handoff up the middle. Bayshore is brought down to the 45-yard line again. Diving tackle made by DeWitt. Gain of 6. Bring up 2nd down and 4 with 7:40 to go in the second quarter. Clock moving. Second quarter moving a little more quickly than the first quarter did. Moore out of the gun, keeps it himself on the QB power. First down to the 39-yard line, gain of 5. Vikings doing a better job of preventing the chunk plays on this drive. Not giving up the double-digit runs they were in the first quarter. Maybe doing a better job of staying at home at the second level. Moore, quarterback power. Of course, as I say that, he picks up all of his blocks over the 25, down to the 22-yard line, and a gain of 17. Puts the Panthers right up on the doorstep of the red zone. That's the thing with this Panthers team. They can go inside or outside with that ground game, and they use enough misdirection that they keep linebackers on their heels. It's tough to flow with the play. Moore, hands off inside, and there's no one going to stop Channing Ridley. Everyone went with Moore one way, but a flag comes out at the very end, I believe before he crossed the goal line. I don't know what's the call going to be. Channing Ridley, no one was near him. The handoff ducked down behind the offensive line. No one at the second level of the defense saw the handoff. They all flowed with Moore in the direction of the play, and Channing Ridley was completely untouched. But let's see what the call is. And they're coming over to the Everett sideline, which is usually an indicator that it's on DeWitt, and they want to ask about enforcement, which, interesting, they want to ask about enforcement on this. Obviously, you wouldn't want to decline this penalty, but it also could depend on the nature of the penalty and when the flag was said to have been thrown. We're having a pretty long conversation with Jaleel Canty. It's unsportsmanlike conduct on DeWitt. Are they going to say that the touchdown stands? Yes, they will. So that flag came out like as he was crossing the goal line, Ridley. So the unsportsmanlike conduct on the Panthers is going to be enforced on the kickoff. Extra point upcoming for Vincent Rose. And the touchdown is officially good. 34-7. Snap good, spot down, and Rose is 5 for 5. Panthers 35, Vikings 7. Whatever control the Panthers felt might have been slipping, they have firmly regrasped here. Halfway through the second quarter, 6:56 to play. You're watching the MHSAA Game of the Week on OEM TV, presented by the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. Located in downtown Mason, Keen's Store Company is the store with just a little bit of everything from fine clothing and quirky candies. Keen's is meant to feel comfortable, friendly, and down home. Open 7 days a week. Keen's is a perfect getaway needing a little bit of me-time retail therapy with great customer service and an unparalleled attention to detail, Keens is where you need to be when you want to be you again. I was telling my producer before this game, I thought this was going to be closer than the Holt game, and I was technically right. But it hasn't been close enough for the Vikings. They even pulled off a couple of plays, pulled off a couple of stunts. With 6:56 to go in quarter number 2, they find themselves in a 28-point hole. They'll get the football here, and they'll get it to start the second half. That is perhaps the consolation that you could, in theory, if you can get the offense going, started to move the football a little bit, score here, and then take the opening kickoff of the second half, try to cut that lead back down to 14, get back within shouting distance again. On the return, Height over the 35, keeps his footing somehow over the 40 to the 43-yard line before being driven into the ground by Caleb Heyman, but a good return. Give the Vikings pretty good field position at their own 43-yard line to start this possession. They'll put the ball at the 44. That's where they will scrimmage from. They're running around Nakunda out there to be the slot receiver on the right side. Now that they've got him set, Hellowich in the gun with Funchess next to him. Hellowich takes the snap, handoff Funchess, trying to bounce it outside. He's going to be hit in the backfield and dropped back at the 41-yard line, loss of 3. That play took too long to develop, and the Panthers got into the backfield quickly. You want to get the ball in the hands of Funchess. But you got to get it into his hands quickly. You also got to give him at least a second before being swarmed by defenders. Three receivers set. Hellowich in the shotgun. Funchess next to him. Takes the snap, and there's too much movement at the time of the snap. You see who it's on. Looks like it's going to be offsides on the Panthers. There was a lot of movement. Couldn't tell from up here who moved first, but apparently it was the Panthers who incited the movement on the offensive side of the ball. Under 6 to go second quarter, and they're going to wind the clock. They've got Funchess split out in the slot right now on the left side of the formation. They got Arun Badu in the backfield next to Hellowich. Hellowich grabbing Dew and bringing it back next to him. Dew usually lines up as an H-back or a tight end. He's going to stay in the block. Pump fake, deep ball down the left side. Funchess incomplete. They wanted Funchess. Lucas Brandel couldn't find the football. First target for Funchess, who's been used exclusively on the ground game so far. We got 3rd down and 9. Line to gain is the Panthers 46. Five and a half to go second quarter. Hellowich getting his instructions. He's got Funchess next to him in the backfield this time. Takes the snap, fakes to give. Hellowich already running for his life, throws left side. It is incomplete. A lot of contact, and they're going to say that ball got there first. And the Everett bench really unhappy Lucas Brandel hit Isaiah Fundenbergs as the ball arrived. I don't know if the ball touched Fundenbergs, I think is going to be the issue. But Everett sideline, Everett fans, they don't appreciate the no call. There have been a couple of close plays like that this game, where the defender makes contact with the receiver as the ball's arriving or right when the ball's in the area. It's a tough call to make for any referee. They've swallowed their whistles a couple of times already on them. And now timeout's going to be called by the Vikings. They struggled to get the play in. 5:24 to go in the second quarter. Panthers up 35-7, and Vikings hopes feeling dimmer and dimmer here. They're looking at 4th and 9. It's going to be a tough conversion. At halftime, we'll have This Week in High School Sports. John Ross, the MHSAA, will take us through everything that's going on across the state. We'll get any score updates that are available. We'll look ahead to the slate for Week 9. A lot of playoff implications, of course. We'll talk about what we know. What we know for this game is that the Vikings are currently on the inside of the bubble, and a loss tonight we don't anticipate would change that. It's hard to take a loss to the number one team in Division III as an indicator that you don't belong in the Division II playoffs. 4 receivers set for Hellowich in the shotgun. He's got Funchess next to him. Now they're going to motion Funchess to the right side of the backfield. 4th and 9. Hellowich takes the snap. Panthers rushing 4. Hellowich steps up in the pocket. Going to take off. No, he's going to throw it down the middle, incomplete. I think he might have had a shot at it had he decided to take off with it. But that clock was going off in his head. He tried to throw it into Arundakunda, but it hit the dirt in front of him, incomplete. It's a turnover on downs. Vikings just can't get anything going consistently on offense. The Panthers' offense, the beneficiaries, as they start at the 47-yard line. Another heavy set. Moore fakes the handoff, runs around right side, up over the 40, stays in bounds, picks up the first down. They're trying to punch that football out, but he's dragged down at the 30-yard line with a first down, gain of 16 on the run. That is the 6th run of 10 or more yards from Trav Moore in this first half. He goes over 100 yards already, 109 yards on just 9 carries. Handoff up the middle goes Bayshore. He's going to be dropped at the 26, 25-yard line, they'll say, gain of 5. Bayshore has been so consistent running the football. Every one of his carries has gained between 4 and 9 yards, except for a 23-yard touchdown. .420 to go, second quarter. Panthers don't need to be in a hurry. Well, they're going to break the huddle quickly, though. When they get out of that huddle, they get up to the line quickly. Handoff, Bayshore up the middle, and another 7 yards, picks up a first down. Call it a gain of 6 up to the 19-yard line. 4 minutes to go in half number 1. Running around the right side, Moore thinking about throwing it, looking into the end zone. It is caught by Jaden Bender in the back corner. What a snag from Bender. 19-yard touchdown. The Panthers offense has had the ball 6 times, and they've made their way into the end zone 6 times. Vincent Rose trying to go 6 for 6 in this first half. And multiple Vikings will jump. They're going to move the PAT a yard closer for the offsides. Fourth accepted penalty on the Vikings. So now a slightly shorter extra point. Snap good, spot down. The kick is, I think they might have blocked it, but it still went in. I think someone got a fingertip on it at the goal line, or at the line of scrimmage, rather. Well, the ball kind of flops its way over the crossbar anyway. And the Panthers' lead is now 42-7. 3:52 to go in the first half. The Vikings offense have one more chance here before halftime. Try to get something going, move down the field. Panthers are 1 touchdown away from a running clock situation. Rose puts his foot into it. Fielded at the 7 by height. Up over the 20, angling to his left. And he's going to get tripped up by the turf monster at the 23-yard line. That's where the Vikings will start this drive. Vikings offense, 70 yards on the trick play touchdown. Aside from that, 40 yards on their 5 possessions. Last 2 drives have ended in turnovers on downs. One at the DeWitt 26 and one at their own 47. Obviously, it's a tough task trying to move the ball on this DeWitt front. Helowich in the gun. He's got Funchess next to him. Helowich takes the snap, handoff Funchess. Finds a little bit of a hole up over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Gain of 3 on the run. Funchess has had a hard time running this football. 8 yards on 12 carries. He's been stopped in the backfield 4 times, including a loss of 7. Longest run of the day is only 6 yards. Vikings have one timeout left, moving up to 3 minutes on the clock in this second quarter. Helovich takes the snap, handoff Funchess, and he's running the wrong way. Now he reverses field. He's going to be brought down at the 24-yard line. Good tackle in the backfield by Everett Cooper. And Funchess, that's the second time today that he's tried to bounce it outside instead of hitting the hole up the middle. And that time he almost saved it. He was able to reverse field and come back the other way, but another excellent tackle from Cooper. And this is a very good tackling team, the Panthers. If they get a hold of you, probably going to bring you down. 2:15 to go in the third, or in the second, rather. 35-point game. Helovich in the gun. He's got Funchess next to him. Takes the snap. Helovich. They rush 4 down the middle. It's picked off. Going the other way. Noah Deneen again. This time, he's in the end zone. His second interception of the game. He got the big stop on 4th down. He's rewarded with a touchdown. It's 48-7. Vincent Rose already has a touchdown's worth of extra points, and now he's got a touchdown and extra points worth of extra points. 7 of 7, 1:52 to go in the first half, and not much to say. They have fallen like blades of grass before a lawnmower. Every team in this division, no match. For the inevitable that is DeWitt. $58-7, 55-0, 58-0, 59-7, 51-0. Those are the scores for DeWitt in the CAAC Blue. The Everett Vikings soon to be the next one added to that list. What a far cry from the beginning of the season when they beat Hazlitt 21-3 and Mason 44-37. Rose squibs this up the middle, fielded at the 12. On the return, he's got some space over the 40, breaking it outside. Gisti Arandakunda on the return up to the 43-yard line. So the Vikings will have a shorter field. 1:41 to go in the half. If you're Everett, at the very least, you can tack on another score at some point, make this thing look more respectable than the other teams in the division have mustered. Helovich in the gun. He's got Funchess next to him. Again, they've got one timeout, the Vikings do. They're going to start at the 45. Trying to work his way up the left side is Arandakunda gets a yard. There's Arandakunda in the backfield on that snap. His first carry of the ball game. 1:25 to go in the first half, and I think the Vikings are just satisfied to go to halftime. They're not in a hurry. And 2 more snaps will take us to halftime. Under a minute now. Helowich hands it off. Up the middle. Around to Kunda. Gets another yard, maybe. If they're going to spot him back at the original line of scrimmage, rather. So it'll make it 3rd down and 9. The Vikings will need to snap the ball one more time to get us to halftime, but that is strictly formality at this point. Vikings uninterested in playing more football in this first half. Now for both of these teams, the object, don't get hurt. Want to stay as injury-free as possible for what should be a playoff date next week for both teams. The second half is going to be both teams kind of going through the motions. Pitch back to Aron Kunda, puts his foot in the dirt, tries to turn it upfield. He's knocked out of bounds at the 45 and slammed into the bench as the clock expires in the first half. And I don't know what that's about. Given what we literally just said, maybe don't do that. But the clock has expired in the first half. It's a gain of nothing for Aron Kunda. And we have reached the end of the first 24 minutes, and the two teams will go to their respective locker rooms. We will take a break. This week in the MHSAA coming up next. And we'll let John Ross take it away.
The championship trophies are flying off the shelves as schools in both golf and tennis are starting a busy stretch of fall finals. I'm John Ross, and this is This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Achievement Scholarship. The fall championship season is upon us, with Lower Peninsula girls golf and boys tennis handing out trophies. Let's start on the links. In Division 1, Northville won a second straight team title. It's their 6th in the last 8 years. 3 Mustangs placed in the top 7, helping Northville to the team win. Annie Flavin from Plymouth captured the individual title. In D2, Dexter followed up a runner-up finish last year with a championship this year. The Dreadnoughts were 16 shots in front of second place, Bloomfield Hills, Cranbrook, Kingswood. Muskegon Reese Puffers, Sophia McCollum took home the individual title. Grand Rapids Catholic Central won a 3rd straight D3 title. The Cougars had 3 of the top 7 individual scores. Lillian O'Grady of Grand Rapids Christian won a 2nd straight individual title. And in Division 4, Grand Rapids North Point Christian won its first ever finals title. The Mustangs finished in front of Lansing Catholic by just 1 stroke. Napoleon senior Anna McCubbins took home the individual title, her first after qualifying for the finals 4 years in a row. For more on all the soggy action from the Lower Peninsula Girls Golf Finals, be sure to check out MHSAA.com. It's time for Game Balls, when we highlight a trio of standout performances from the past week. First, Sault Ste. Marie's Gabe Litzner. He won his 4th straight Upper Peninsula Boys Cross Country Championship, the first to win 4 straight UP titles since Brimley's Austin Plotkin. Marquette's Ella Feary, she captured her 2nd UP Cross Country title, posting the 4th fastest time in UP D1 history. Feary's first title came 2 years ago in 2023. And to Grand Blanc quarterback Jake Morrow, he threw for 5 touchdowns and ran for another in a 57-29 win over Davison. The win keeps Grand Blanc undefeated and is the first loss this year for Davison.
Graduating seniors could qualify for a tuition-free skill certificate or associate degree through the new Community College Guarantee, no matter their GPA or your household income. Or if your child plans to attend a 4-year university or career school, the Michigan Achievement Scholarship Program has them covered. They could get up to $27,500 toward a bachelor's degree or up to $4,000 for career training. Complete the FAFSA to get started at mi.gov/achievement.
Our weekly Be the Referee feature takes a look at the fine art of officiating with registered official Paige Winnie.
We have a field hockey U make the call for you today. A penalty stroke is awarded to the white team as time expires in the third quarter, with red leading by 3 goals. Should the official award the penalty stroke? Yes, since this occurred at the end of the third quarter, the official must award the penalty stroke and continue play until it is completed. However, if the same situation happens as time expires in the fourth quarter and red is still ahead by 3 goals, the official shall end the game without awarding the penalty stroke. New this year, if a penalty stroke is called at the end of the game and the outcome cannot affect the result, the game is not extended. A stroke is only taken if it could alter the result. Otherwise, it's game over.
Thanks, Paige. Now more than ever, we need officials. If you're interested, please go to the MHSAA website now to register. It's going to be a very busy 8 days of tennis in Midland at the Lower Peninsula Boys Tennis Finals. All 4 divisions are playing at the Midland Tennis Center, which means 1 division is done and 3 more will finish this week. Divisions 2, 3, and 4 will crown champions throughout the week, and Division 1 has already added a team and individual champions to the record books. Troy finished runner-up to Bloomfield Hills each of the past 2 seasons, but the Colts flipped the script this year, winning their first title since 2021. Bloomfield Hills finished second after winning 3 consecutive D1 titles. Troy was led by wins at number 4 singles and numbers 2, 3, and 4 doubles. Rochester's Chad Anderson needed 3 sets to knock off Ann Arbor Pioneers' Grant Miller to claim the championship at number 1 singles. Anderson's championship is the school's first ever at number 1 singles. For more on the Division I championship and for updates from Divisions 2, 3, and 4, please be sure to check out all of our tennis coverage at MHSAA.com. You've been listening to This Week in High School Sports, powered by Michigan Student Aid, a production of the MHSAA Network. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Ross. We'll be back next week.
Baking club and drum major of the band. She plans to go at LCC, then MSU, majoring in film or business. Jane Benfield. South. Carry-on escorted by their mother and stepfather. She's been a band for 2.5 years. Plans to be a future Grammy and Emmy winner by becoming a singer or an actor. Carry-on South. Jim Parkhill. Jim escorted by Mom Corey, stepdad Ben, and dad Todd. Jim has been a band for 4 years. Does gigs with the Jazz Alliance of Mid-Michigan. Plans to pursue music and produce and release albums. Maybe becoming a music teacher. Jim Parkhill. Jesse Elena. Jesse is escorted by Mom Miranda and sister Morgan. Member of marching band for 4 years and baseball for 4 years. Then a part of YIG Youth in Government. That's what's at LCC for HVAC and trying out for their baseball.
Thank you, John Ross. Extended halftime today because of senior night festivities. So we're just going to leave you here for now. You're watching the MHSAA Game of the Week on OEM TV, presented by the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty.
4 years on the marching band for Emma. Plans to go to LCC for 2 years and transfer to MSU to major in biochemistry. Emma Rivet. Phoenix Beaker. Phoenix has been a member of the marching band for 2 years. Plans to go to college for physics and engineering. Phoenix Beaker. Davion Gardner. Davion escorted by Mom Glenda Gardner, Miss Flanagan and Miss Tiana. They've been marching band for 2 years. Enjoys making new friends, going on field trips with the marching band, and learning new things. Plans to attend the music performance program at Michigan State University. Davion Gardner. Madison Major. Madison, escorted by Mom Martha, Dad Ray, and little sister Tiana. 1.5 years in the marching band, Madison is founder and president of Everett High School Official Baking Club. Plans to become a forensic scientist or food scientist. Madison Major. Eric Lee. Eric is escorted by sister Imani. Eric has been in the band for 1 year. Enjoys learning music without any prior experience with a musical instrument. Plans to become a well-known YouTuber and possibly a manga artist. Eric Lee. Jaden Yerke. Jaden is escorted by girlfriend Lauren, drumline instructor Douglas George, and friend Deshaun. Jaden has been in the band for 4 years. Soccer captain in 9th grade. Honorable mention all-conference soccer in 9th grade. Plans to an LCC for an associate in emergency medical services, then on to university for a degree in kinesiology, becoming a physical therapist or an athletic trainer. Jaden Yerke. Ladies and gentlemen, your marching band seniors. Congratulations to all. Ladies and gentlemen, your Everett marching band.
Thank you to the Everett High School Marching Band for that performance. We're about to start the third quarter here at Everett High School. 49-7. Panthers way out in front as we're about to get this third quarter underway. And as we said at the end of the second quarter, we are looking at a second half where you're going to see a lot of backups. You're going to see a lot of running the football. You're going to see a lot of intentional time winding. As both these teams are preparing for the playoffs, DeWitt knows they're in. DeWitt's going to be the number one seed in Division 3 with this win. The Everett Vikings, they're not a lock yet. Currently ranked number 20 in Division 2. It'd be tough for them to fall out of the top 32 with a loss tonight. That win over Holt last week was needed. But they are not guaranteed a playoff position as of right now. So, as much as they're not going to come back and win this one, you need to prepare as though you have another week in your season. So we're probably going to see, as we saw at the end of that first half, Javari Funchess still nursing the ankle. He's not going to play probably in the second half, I wouldn't expect. Wouldn't be surprised to see Gavin Helowich sit, Kavion Smith. No reason to put your starters in a situation where they could be at risk. So we expect this second half to go pretty quickly. We're in a running clock situation. Don't expect either team to really push too hard in the last 24 minutes. We have got some updated scores, so we're going to have a look at those. Williamson leading Redford Thurston 21-0 late second quarter. Sexton leading Eastern 13-0 in the second quarter. East Lansing and Holt tied at 7 near the end of one. Charlotte leading Fowlerville 6-0 after one quarter. Grand Ledge over Okemos 7-0 at the end of one. Harper Woods leads Mason 15-7 early second quarter there. Jackson leading Hazlitt 8-0 at the end of quarter number one. Ovid Elsie over Waverly 14-0 in the first. Palama Westphalia leading Lansing Catholic 14-0 in the first quarter there. St. John 7, Ypsilanti Lincoln 0 in quarter number one. And after one, Vestaburg and Dansville are tied at 0. Both those teams looking for their first wins of the season. The other big stories tonight revolve around baseball. Game 1 of the World Series. Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers doing battle in Toronto tonight. Blake Snell on the bump for the Dodgers, while the rookie phenom Trey Savage will start for Toronto. That game starting at 8 o'clock. In the college football world, just one game going on right now. North Texas leads Charlotte 7-3 late in the first quarter. Later on tonight, Cal and Virginia Tech will kick off. That's going to be kicking off any second now. Boise State and Nevada playing in the 10 o'clock nightcap. Tomorrow, college football action. Ole Miss and Oklahoma, the noon kick. Number 8, Mississippi. Number 13, Oklahoma. In a game that has a lot of college football playoff implications. There's another game going on tomorrow. I don't know if anybody else cares about it. It's a couple of teams from Michigan are playing at 7:30 tomorrow. I don't know if anyone's too concerned about that one. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, let's get this second half underway. The final 24 minutes of the regular season here in downtown Lansing. Referees having a conference at midfield, probably going over the clock situation. We are in a running clock situation. Everett's going to start the second half with the football after the kick here by Vincent Rose. Rose has the ball on the tee. Ball is in the air. In and out of the hands of the return man. Scooped up inside the 10. Returned up over the 30 to the 31-yard line. Height on the return, and the Vikings will start at their own 31 with the clock moving here as we start the third quarter. Gavin Hellowich is in the game. So starting quarterback staying in for the Vikings. Ryan Bryant is out there. Aaron Wilson and Peyton Glassbrook, the receivers on the far side of the field. On the near side, looks like a Rhonda Kunda and Donovan Ziegler. And the first minute of this third quarter already almost gone. We're definitely in a running clock situation, and we will be in one for the duration unless the Vikings offense comes to life here and puts this in the end zone. Hellowich takes the snap at the 11-minute mark. Quick throw over the middle. It's incomplete, and again, because of the running clock, it will continue to move. Intended for Aaron Wilson. Hellowich in the shotgun. 4 receivers set for him. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle. Not much there for, I believe, Bryant on the carry. Call it a gain of 2. A lot of other teams in action tonight that are looking to clinch their playoff spot. East Lansing ranked number 29 in Division II. Holt is number 39 in Division I after they lost to Everett last week. 4 receiver set. Hellowich under pressure. Going to get hit. Going to go down back at the 29-yard line. Loss of 3 on the play, and that'll bring on the punt unit. First time they've actually gotten to Hellowich in this game. First sack. And they're going to bring on the punt unit indeed. But the Rams, with the loss last week, in need of a win to get into the playoffs tonight against East Lansing, and is currently 14-14 there in the second quarter. In Division 4, St. John's, Sexton, and Fowlerville all on the bubble. Punt is away. It'll hit and die at the 40-yard line, roll to the 39, and that is where the Panthers will take over. Yeah, St. John's number 28, Sexton number 29, Fowlerville number 32. St. John's currently leading Ypsilanti Lincoln. Sexton leading Eastern. Fowlerville trailing Charlotte 6-0 at the end of one. So obviously a lot to keep an eye on in that one. Charlotte, of course, is on the outside looking in, currently ranked number 39 in Division 4, so a win tonight could mean a lot. Up the middle, still going over midfield, down to the 43-yard line. Caden Martin Seymour had an 88-yard touchdown run a week ago. Picks up 17 on the run. Running around the right side with it is Griffin Brayman, who's in calling the shots. Gain of 8 on the run. We expected to see the backup brigade, and we are, in fact, seeing it. So, yeah, that Charlotte-Fowlerville game, a big game for both teams. They both really need to win it. They're going to get into the playoffs. So that's one worth keeping an eye on. Up the middle on the carry. Up over the 30 to the 24-yard line goes Donovan Hillard. You know, 15 on the run for Hillard. 6.5 to go, third quarter. So, yeah, as the evening goes along, definitely a lot to keep an eye on as we find out who is and is not going to the playoffs, hopefully. Hillard up the middle. Lots of room inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Picks up 12. 10 of that before even being touched. Just great blocking up front. This Panthers offensive line continues to dictate this game, even here in second half garbage time. Hillard and Brayman in the backfield. Handoff coming around from his tight end spot on the right side is Martin Seymour. And he's into the end zone. Two carries and a touchdown for Caden Martin Seymour. And DeWitt tacks on 6 more because why not? Extra point upcoming. One of the few things that will stop the clock is a touchdown. So Vincent Rose will try to make it 8 for 8. Snap good. Spot down. Kick is up. And Rose is, in fact, 8 for 8. Today's game is brought to you by the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty. They spend a lot of time working in different communities, but the message is always the same. The housing market is hot, it's complicated, and it's complex. So what can you do? Work with a real estate professional who is patient, understanding, and dedicated to working with you, not through you. That real estate agent is Mid-Michigan's own Robert Dowding at Keller Williams Realty. If you're buying, selling, or unsure of what to do next, the Robert Dowding Group will take the time to help you achieve your next step. Find them on Facebook at the Robert Dowding Group, or call them at 517-853-6390. That's 517-853-6390. 5:46 to go in the third quarter, 56-7. DeWitt establishing their dominance in CAAC play all season. They're going to go to 6-0 in CAAC blue play, scoring a minimum of 51 points in every single one of those games. The most they've given up is 7. East Lansing, Grand Ledge, and Everett have all mustered a touchdown, but that is it. And this DeWitt team, man, I don't know if you heard, they're pretty good. One of only 4 undefeateds coming into Week 9 in Division 3. Rose sends this kick away, and it's going to angle out of bounds. And that'll put the ball at the 40 for the Vikings. Mount Pleasant, Gaylord, and Niles, the other undefeated schools in Division III, currently ranked 1 through 4 in the playoff points rankings. And Division III is always crazy in Michigan. Detroit MLK is ranked 9th. A pretty common sight. Fenton is 15. Mason is 16. Mason ranked as low as they have been, and actually looks like Everett's going to make them re-kick this. Everett has exercised their option to force a re-kick. They want to return this. So it'll be 5 yards and kicked again. Fenton is ranked 15th, Mason 16th. Zeeland West is currently 18th. Owasso hanging in there, ranked number 31 in Division III right now with a 5-3 record. So the Division III bracket's going to be a lot of fun. Got a handful of really fun teams in there. Owasso currently beating Essexville Garber, for what it's worth. And if they hold on to that, they will be in the field. This kick will stay in the field of play. Grabbed at the 14, around Acunda on the return. Up over the 30, down to the 33-yard line, and finally that clock will start moving again. It's all academic here, 56-7. That's why we're looking at the playoff picture so intently. We go to Division II. Got Everett currently sitting in 20th. East Lansing, as we said earlier, ranked 29th. Trying to lock in their spot with a win tonight against a Holt team that needs the win, ranked 39th in their division, Division I. Under 5 to go, third quarter. Hellowidge, deep ball down the right side. It's in and out of the hands of Griffin Brayman on the coverage. Daniel Height, the intended target. His first target of the evening. Clock moving, 4.5 to go. At the top of Division II, you got South Lyon as one of only 3 undefeated. Gibraltar, Carlson, and Portage Central, the other 2. Ranked number 2 is actually 7-1 Dexter. So it'll be tough sledding for whoever gets into the last rounds of the Division II bracket as Hellowidge uncorks another deep ball. Once around Acunda, it's in and out of his hands. He had to try to come back to it a little bit with a little bit behind him. Braden Aaron's there on the defense. Pass is incomplete. Third down coming up. Hellowidge looking to get his orders from the sideline. 3:25 to go, third quarter. DeWitt 56, Everett 7. Takes the snap. Hellowidge has some time this time. Throws deep right side. It is incomplete. In and out of the hands, but good defense again from Aarons, making it very difficult for Jissi Arundacunda. And with less than 3 to go in the third, punt unit will come on once again for the Vikings. We're less than 10 minutes away from the start of Game 1 of the World Series. Blake Snell versus Trey Savage, Dodgers, Blue Jays. Full disclosure, my Toronto Blue Jays. So don't mind me if I'm a little bit anxious tonight. Punt is away, rolling inside the 40, down to the 32-yard line. So pretty good punt. From Isaiah to Hilbus. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Panthers will take over at their own 32-yard line. Both these teams going to continue to just kind of go through the motions for the next 14 minutes. And that's not a discredit to either of them. It's just the reality. If you're preparing for the playoffs, you don't want anybody getting hurt. And in a game where the outcome's already decided, there's no point in putting bodies on the line. So you're going to run this clock, run up the middle. Donovan Hillard picks up 4. Panthers had a little bit of urgency on the previous drive. I think they wanted to get one good live possession in for their number 2s, but once they ran that into the end zone, it was like, all right, we did what we needed to do. Now it is about ending this football game. So expect about 45 seconds to come off the clock between each snap. This will probably be the last snap of the third quarter. Handoff, and Hillard lost the football, and Everett's got it at the 36-yard line. The first offensive possession to end in something other than a touchdown for the Panthers. Fundenbergs falls on the football for the Vikings, and they'll start at the 35-yard line. But they might as well switch ends now. I don't think they're going to be snapping this football. 13 seconds to go in the quarter. And they will not, in fact, snap it. They're just going to have to put it on the other 35-yard line. Tanuki's Trading Post is Lansing's anime store, located at 1910 East Michigan in Lansing. Tanuki's Trading Post is the best place in town to find Gundam models and build kits, anime figures and merchandise, manga, trading card games, and, of course, their collection of anime soundtracks on vinyl. Tanuki's is a friendly and inviting place where everyone is welcome. Events and build days are happening all the time, open from 12 to 9 every day but Wednesday. Tanuki's Trading Post. Come to the anime. Stay for the shenanigans. I'll be there tomorrow playing some card games. One of my favorite places in town. I'm very grateful that they decided to sponsor us. And who's us? Us is Open Ended Media, not just your friendly neighborhood broadcast partner. We're also the area's premier real estate and event media company. If you're preparing your home for the housing market, let OEM make your listing shine with the very best photos, drone aerials, 3D tours, floor plans, and video walkthroughs in the state. If you need photography or videography for your event, Open Ended Media can do that for you too. Graduations, senior photos, parties, corporate gatherings, and more. And check out our 360 photo booth, perfect for any special occasion. For more information, email us, photos@openendedmedia.com. And if you want your ad read on one of our basketball broadcasts coming up here in a few weeks, shoot us an email, broadcasting@openendedmedia.com. 4 receivers set for the Vikings offense. Helowich, deep ball, right side, incomplete, trying to send Aaron DeCunda on a wheel route. The final 12 minutes. Just going to slowly, somberly roll off that clock. Slouching toward Bethlehem we go. As Week 9 plays out its final moments in a bit of a disappointment for Everett for sure. Helowich takes the snap, throws, slant over the middle, incomplete. Everett was hoping for a little bit more excitement in the fourth quarter of this one, but it's the reality. This is a very, very talented DeWitt team. What are you going to do? Pass intended for Peyton Glassbrook, under 11 to go. 3rd down and 10. The ball on the 35-yard line. Combination of the floodlights and the halftime performance and the long season have made the yard lines a little bit more difficult to parse than they were at the start of this game. Helowich takes the snap, has time, throws over the middle. It is caught for a first down at the 16-yard line. Pierre. His first catch of the game, 19 yards. They're going to spot him at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Vikings, trying to be the first team in the CAAC Blue to put 2 scores on the DeWitt Panthers. Helowich making changes, takes the snap. The rush comes, under pressure, throws over the middle. It's picked off, coming the other way. Declan Dowdy on the return. Up to midfield. Helowich gets in there to cut him down. But Declan Dowdy ends the threat with 9.5 to go in the game. And the Panthers will take over right at midfield. 9.25 to go. East Lansing leading Holt 21-14 late second quarter there. We have an update. Ovid Elsie leading Waverly 27-6. Waverly Warriors, man, tough season out there. Owasso still up 14-0 now on Essexville Garber, second quarter. Dansville leading Vesterberg, looking for their first win of the season late in the second quarter. Grand Ledge still leading Okemos 7-0. Harper Woods over Mason 14-7. We don't have an update on Sexton Eastern. It was 13-0 at halftime. We got a flag down here at the snap. It's going to be false start on the Panthers, and that'll back them up. They'll move them back to their own 45-yard line. Clock continues to move. 8 minutes left in the ballgame. We have crossed over officially into prime time. Keeping it himself on the option into Everett territory up to the 43 goes Brayman, a gain of 12 on the run. That'll bring up 2nd down and 3 after the 1st and 15. Good run from QB2. Ball's on the 37, line to gain just across the 35. 7.25 to go. Brayman takes the snap, handoff. Dowdy, who got the interception, breaks a tackle, heading outside, now cuts it back inside after picking up the first down to the 36-yard line, pickup of 7. So Declan Dowdy getting to play offense and defense and making the most of both. Under 7 minutes left. Panthers taking their time. 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Brayman fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, dashes up the middle, gets a big block to spring him, and he's going to score. Number 79, who's not on my sheet, I'm assuming is a fifth quarter JV guy, planted his man, and that sprung Griffin Brayman. And into the end zone he goes to add yet another to the Panthers' tally. 62-7 with 6 minutes to go, and now we are beyond the point where touchdowns stop the clock. Snap good, spot down, kick is up. How about a 9-for-9 night for Vincent Rose? Doesn't get a whole lot better than that. Has not been called on for a field goal. They have not needed one. He has outscored the Everett Vikings himself with extra points. Located in downtown Mason, Keen's Store Company is the store with just a little bit of everything. From fine clothing and quirky candies, Keen's is meant to feel comfortable, friendly, and down home. Open 7 days a week, Keen's is the perfect getaway when needing a little bit of me-time retail therapy. With great customer service and an unparalleled attention to detail, Keen's is where you need to be when you want to be you again. Keep up with everything MHSAA on social media. Find them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for tournament updates, event announcements, video highlights, and high school sports from around the state. It's the best way to connect with the MHSAA every single day. 4.5 to go as Caden Martin Seymour is going to put the ball on the tee for the DeWitt Panthers. We really reached into the backup brigade now, as even Vincent Rose, the kicker, who's had a great night, is going to take a seat. Martin Seymour sends it away. Pretty good kick. It'll be fielded inside the 20. The return out to the 30-yard line by Bryant. And that's where the Vikings will begin. Under 4 minutes to go. Realistically, the Vikings can almost run this clock out. Not even sure if the play clock has started yet. They haven't even spotted the ball yet, so the play clock has not started. Now the play clock will start. So they would need a first down to put the finishing touches on this game. And the referees are putting their hands up, and I think that they might just be letting this clock roll all the way. Yeah, the Vikings only have 9 guys on the field, and now a timeout's been called. Excuse me. The Vikings are going to call their last timeout, but even with the timeout being called, the clock is going to run, which should give you a pretty clear indication of how this game is going. Yeah, big weekend for sports here in the Greater Lansing area, obviously, tonight. Teams will put in their last auditions for the playoffs. Game 1 of the World Series about to get underway. Tomorrow night, Michigan and Michigan State, hate week. Coming to a close as Michigan State looks to break Michigan's stranglehold on the Paul Bunyan Trophy they've had the last couple of years. Detroit Lions on a bye this week, a well-deserved bye after a big win over the Bucks on Monday night. Lions sitting at 5-2, a far cry from how it felt after week 1 and that loss to the Packers. Suddenly they feel like one of the best teams in football. Then, of course, on Sunday night, the selection show, we're going to find out who's going to the playoffs and who they're all playing. Looks like Leon Mohead is in at quarterback for the Vikings, takes the snap, fakes the give to no one, and gets brought down for a loss of 3. And that was, I think, supposed to be Isaiah DeHuldis. We got a cheer going on the Panthers sideline, I believe one of the JV guys, I think number 67 down there, was getting that round of applause as he entered the game. Yeah, DeHilbus not on the same page with Moed, who fakes the give to where I think he thought DeHilbus was supposed to be. Takes the snap. This time does hand off to DeHilbus, and he's brought down at about the line of scrimmage. And referee going to place this after the 40-second mark. I don't think they have to snap the ball. They might snap it one more time just because we're into the JV portion of the evening. The backups are in. And it looks like they're actually not going to bother snapping this football. That's how it's going to end, folks. The DeWitt Panthers puts the finishing touches on an undefeated regular season with a 63-7 shellacking of the Everett Vikings. We'll find out what happens to both these teams on Sunday. DeWitt's number 1 in Division III, we know that, but who will they host? We'll find that out on Sunday night. The Everett Vikings, currently on the inside of the bubble, we'll see where they fall on Sunday. For all of us at Open Ended Media, for our amazing sponsors, the Robert Dowding Group of Keller Williams Realty, our presenting sponsor, Tanuki's Trading Post and Keene Store Company in Mason. The broadcast of today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Open Ended Media. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and Open Ended Media. For all of us at OEM, for my producer, Caleb Lewis, I'm Colton Wesley. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, your final score, DeWitt 63, Everett 7. You've been watching the MHSAA Game of the Week on OEM TV, presented by the Robert Dowding Group at Keller Williams Realty.